Hey friends, and welcome back to Langley Acres. I'm Sarah, and if you're new here, we are so happy to have you. Comment down below and say hi and let us know you're new. And if you're not new, and you frequently watch our videos, thank you for coming back and watching this one. We made it through the storm. We survived. The greenhouse made it, mostly. This side's come up a little bit. I had this side fully put down. This side has never come up, so I didn't worry about putting anything on this side. But the rain water has collected and weighed it down, so we're gonna have to dump that out. But the greenhouse survived, and for the most part it's still completely covered. And yeah, I'm in the greenhouse and nothing was destroyed, so we're good there. They were saying that it was going to be like 70-mile-per-hour winds. I really don't think that we got that. But anyways, here's a look at how well everything's doing. Look at our onions. They are going crazy. I think that amongst the onions, I planted some bunching onions. I'm going to have to go back and watch my own video because I did not mark these. And I don't remember exactly what I planted throughout here. Those definitely do not look like bunching onions, so it has to be something else. But I'm not sure what it is. And then right here, I have what looks to be two different things. And I know I didn't plant that. So we might have some volunteer things popping up here. Just from where we were growing in these last year. But I don't know, because we didn't grow in these last two, but we did take soil from the first ones and put them here. But you can see here, we have one little, what I believe is broccoli growing. And then we have a few of these throughout here. And I have to look again at my video to remember what I even planted there. In this section.
Greetings.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
In this section, I've noticed a couple things popping up here. And I could be mistaken, but the ones with the leaves like this are making me think maybe it's volunteer tomatoes. Because we did have the tomatoes planted there last year. And some of them we just left on the vine until it was ready to be thrown out. So we might have some volunteer tomatoes.
Right there. Wow, and those radishes take off.
I know. And if that's the case, that's wonderful because I love volunteer plants. And typically they're a lot stronger because they've just kind of grown there on their own. Anyways, but look at our radishes too. All the guys are draining all the water. But look at these radishes. They are going insane. Looks so good. And, we got something munching on the leaves. I'm gonna have to inspect that really well. Oh no, did y'all get wet? Oh no. And then our mint is growing like crazy too. I'm gonna have to repot it yet again in something larger. You just got a little bit wet.
Yep.
Unfortunately, an ant colony has decided to make its home in here in the past couple of days. So we need to figure out how to eradicate that. I don't want to be gardening with ants. But I'm not going to spray poison or anything. I don't do that. But we'll see what we're going to do for that. But today...
Well, there's a couple of ways we can get rid of them.
Yeah.
To put grits.
I've heard of that, but I don't know if that actually works.
There's diatomaceous earth, which I haven't had a lot of luck with.
Yeah, they're going crazy.
Yeah. You ruined my home, man!
But today we are going to be planting. Our last frost date is looking around like April 1st through the 10th. I don't think we're going to have more frost, but even if we do, we're inside the greenhouse. Everything's going to be planted in here in the greenhouse. So it's a lot warmer in here than it is outside. Yeah, we can just run a heater if we have to. But we're going to go ahead and get some stuff in the ground. I think we're going to get some snap peas in the ground. And I've got to see what other seeds. Not yet. It's not time for that yet. I've got our bag of seeds that we went through and had to replace there. And then in my notebook, a little homesteading book here, I have the seeds that I could not find, and then I remembered I placed them inside the notebook. So I've got some snow peas. We're not planting more radishes. And then I have some rosemary and kale. But I really definitely want to get these snow peas in the ground and get those started. So with the snow peas in our area, you can grow them from like February to April, and then you can grow them again in August. So we're going to be growing a lot of those this year, hopefully.
I'll go ahead and pull the sides down.
Okay.
Hey!
Oh, I see. The rope. I kind of worried if that one was going to come off the way it is on the very edge. But putting the block around it definitely worked. My greenhouse moss has met its demise. It apparently got taken out at some point, unfortunately. Maybe it'll grow back. Maybe. And for those of you who don't know, I have a slight obsession with moss. And it worked perfectly though, because when me and Irby first met, he told me that his nickname was Mossy, and I was like, well, that adds up. So so that earned him some points in my interested in him department. Is that right, babe?
Yeah. Oddly enough, it wasn't after mossy oak or anything like that. It was it's a philosophical term of endearment, because the last thing you notice when you go into the woods is the moss.
But it's the first thing that I always notice. I'm gonna plant the snow peas on this back row here. That way I can put something here and let them trellis up. I can just take like some chicken wire or twine, really, even, and let it trellis up, and they'll grow really well that way. I'm gonna put them closer together than what it calls for, and then if I need to, I'll just pull some. But I've planted them closer together in years past, and it's been perfectly fine. And they grew a whole lot of snow peas. I learned from, I was watching Jess from Roots and Refuge, and she was talking about how she does the depth of her seeds, and based off of like you plant your seeds 2 times the width of the seed. And I thought that was really helpful to remember, because I'm always forgetting how deep you're actually supposed to plant stuff. So I'm sure there's some things that might not work for, but for a lot of things it's pretty accurate. I'm also gonna plant a row of these in this back section here of the second container we have, because nothing's in here yet. I forgot to water this one first. I'll have to water it after now. Noticed now that we've been watering our plants out here, we're starting to get a bit of a mud issue. So tomorrow I'm gonna have to come and grab some leaf litter and pine needles and whatnot and throw it through here. What did you say?
That we'd go scrape some up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have plenty out here to get. So I try to not disturb that stuff, but there's plenty of it. It's not one little tiny spot's not gonna make that big of a difference. So Irby's looking through the seeds here to see what we're gonna put out here. This is gonna be our herb area. We've got some parsley, some cilantro, chives, rosemary, and then English lavender. And so this is gonna kind of be just all mixed together, different herbs and then the flowers. And so that's gonna be that. I know some of this stuff probably isn't ready to be planted yet, so we might be holding off since this is not inside the greenhouse and I don't want that soil temperature to get too low.
Yeah, the coriander, we have to wait at least another 2 weeks. Yeah, the coriander said it's for at least another 2 weeks, which, you know, one of our friends at Havenly Acres said that it's usually right about Easter.
So on this end, we're doing parsley. The next row we did was cilantro. We did go ahead and do that. And we're gonna just hope for the best. It's only 2 weeks away. If it gets cold, we can cover it, but I think it'll be okay.
There wasn't very many seeds in that.
Yeah, we didn't have many seeds. Those were the ones that got wet though, so I'm wondering if
you forgot
if maybe some either got left or something.
So next we're going to do, I guess, chives right here.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do English lavender and a couple rosemary right here. I'm just hoping I'm not messing up. 'Cause I'm cutting it close, but last year we
planted way too late last year. We're making up for it.
Yeah. But we've got to run to the home center later. Gonna get seed starter because there are some things that it's March 16th. You got to start them inside if you want to get an early jump on it. We got to get that in diatomaceous earth to try to get rid of the ants.
And some tomato seeds, maybe.
We got plenty of
I'm
tomato
excited
seeds.
for tomatoes.
We got tomato seeds for days.
Where are they?
In there.
He's been hiding them from me. Where?
I've been hoarding them myself.
Legitimately, I thought,
right
I'm gonna
there,
slip. I thought for sure that we had lost them. So in our first container, I'm gonna plant some carrots on the other side where I did not plant the snow peas on that back row. I'm gonna go ahead and plant those. I do want to get tomatoes in this one here, but these carrots should be mature in like 70 days. So if I get my tomatoes started, by the time these are mature and we've already pulled them, I can get the tomatoes planted in here. So that's my plan for that. We're just gonna cross our fingers that they're actually ready in 70 days. And I'm putting several seeds in each one. And so once they've kind of gotten established, I'll go through and thin them out. And keep the most healthy ones. Let them grow. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of carrots. I think I want to do a 5th row. Unfortunately, out of all the seeds that I did dry, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, most of them were perfectly fine. Unfortunately, the radishes got molded, and I guess I just didn't get them dried enough. But we do have them already growing down here, so we'll at least have that batch. And I do have some other of the radish seeds, but these are just going to be trash because they're all gross and moldy now, unfortunately. So next time if I have that issue, I'll make sure to double check everything. But everything else looks really good. Irby's walking away in shame because he broke my heart. He didn't get the memo that his wife loves volunteer plants, and that I thought that the one that was volunteered right here was a tomato. And he was trying to help me out and make sure my garden beds were nice and clear so I could plant my snap peas and carrots, and he pulled it out. It's okay. We won't fault him too much. It's okay. I did find the tomato seeds. He was right. They were over here the whole time, and I just didn't notice them. We have two kinds. We have the red cherry and the beefsteak tomato. So I'm gonna get those started in some of these sets that my friend gave me, and those will get going. But I have to get the seed starter soil from the store because we're all out of soil, compost, everything. I also just recently got this other smaller container. I thought it was gonna be just as big as these. I did not read the fine print, but I got it for free, so I can't really complain. So Irby's gonna put that together for me. And then we're gonna figure out what to plant in that. I'm not really sure yet. I don't know.
It's very shallow.
It is very shallow, so nothing that needs deep roots, but it'll still be good for plenty of things.
Do the onions, the rest of the onions.
Maybe. We could. I don't know how wide it's gonna be though. If it's not very wide, it would only grow like, what, 5 onions, and that would be a lot of space for just 5 onions. Well, Irby's working on building that, putting together the other raised bed. I'm going to show you what all they got done with the house, because since I was sick, that's why we didn't post. I was sick for what, I don't know, it's been a few weeks now. I'm finally feeling better, but it was rough. And so I didn't even pull out the camera at all, not once while they were building this. We got a couple shorts here and there, and if you haven't checked those out, go watch them. But the framing of the house is coming along very nicely. We've got one of our bathrooms done, 3 of the bedrooms done, and part of the living room. I'm gonna show you how big our window in the living room is gonna be, because I'm super excited about this. I'm all about natural lighting in a house, and I really wanted ours to have lots of natural light. And so we are able to get a really big window. I'll show you. So this here is the space for the living room and the window. It's going to be 10 foot wide. I'm not sure how tall it is. I don't know that part. I don't remember. But that's the window that's going to go in the living room. And then a little further down will be the kitchen. And we're going to have French doors back there. So lots of wonderful lighting. But you can see all this framing that has been done. And it looks amazing, and I'm super excited that we've gotten so much done on it. We have to have it fully in the dry by April. That's our next deadline for our next inspection, to have it in the dry. So we still have a whole lot more work to do to get it done, but this is huge progress, and it looks amazing, and I'm so happy with how much they gotten done so far. It's really nice. I didn't get to help with any of the framing part. Kind of sad about that. I was literally like stuck in bed for almost an entire week. Ended up having to quit being stubborn, and I did like one of the teledoc things, and that wasn't enough. So I ended up having to go to the emergency room and getting more medicine to actually help me, because it was going pretty rough there. So I've got to quit being stubborn. I'm very stubborn when it comes to doctors, and I better be shaking his head, yes. I am extremely stubborn when it comes to going to the doctor, and
it is her middle name.
And I try so hard to just do things naturally, and most of the time it works wonderfully for me, and I don't, you know, ruin my immune system with antibiotics and steroids, which I did have to end up taking because my lungs were killing me. And so I don't have to, you know, typically my body is very good about healing itself, and if I do things naturally, it works very well. This time, however, I learned a lesson in how stubborn I can be. So.
And what did it almost cost you?
What? It did get pretty serious, but I'm good.
I'm almost life-threatening.
It was. I think that's maybe pushing it a little bit. It's pushing it a little bit. He seems to think it's not. It was very. I was not doing very well, but I'm all better now. Feeling great, really good, and yeah, I'm like 98% better. I still have like a slight cough every now and then, and if I try to take deep breaths, like very deep breaths over and over again, I'll cough, but other than that, I'm doing good. But look at our raised bed coming along. He did good. It's slightly wider than I thought it was going to be, and it's in all honesty, it's plenty high enough for plenty of things. It's just not quite as high as this one, not quite as wide, but it'll still do. Very well. Thank you for putting that together for me.
You're welcome. Just wait until you get the bill.
I started to say it's not as strong either, but I didn't realize you hadn't tightened those up yet. It looks good.
I learned that from putting those together.
Oh yeah, because we tightened these, and then once it was time to actually connect them on the end, it was super hard to do, so we had to go through and like undo them. Yeah, lessons learned.
Yeah, none of these holes actually line up perfectly, so the best way to do is just to put it all together loose and come back and tighten it.
Yep.
I know I'm doing this backwards, putting the wing nuts on the outside, but
when you're in here digging and you get to the edge and you catch yourself on one, it's not fun.
Oh, that's loose too.
Yeah, that one loosened up, but it looks fine. But thank you guys so much for joining us today in the greenhouse and getting stuff planted. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, comment down below and let us know, and we'll catch you on the next video.
From our homestead to yours, have a good one.
Bye guys.